Beyonce on the party tapes.
Also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes.
A very reliable source just told me who's on the Diddy.
The rumors have been flying, but no one saw this coming. Minus 50 Cent just released some tapes that have Rick Ross on the edge. And this isn't your typical hip-hop feud anymore. We've got the inside scoop on these leaked tapes involving Ross. And once you hear what's on them, you'll see why Ross is furious and ready to shake up the entire industry. The way 50 played this move, it's pure legend.
For her to come in, what's that white boy, the Jimmy boy? He's a real country music artist. Darius Rucker left Hootie and the Blowfish, tried his hand at black music over at Hidden Beach, but his real heart and soul was country music. And guess what? Darius Rucker became a country superstar. Album after album after album. How many country albums are we going to get from Beyonce?
And some are saying that, there are some people who are saying that, like you said, the album was not that great. It wasn't real country music, and it has nothing to do with Beyonce being black, because you have K. Michelle, who is conquering the country lane.
I mean, she's doing what she's doing. And I give it to her. At least she's willing to pay her dues. But see, that's the problem with people like Beyonce. They don't feel like they got to still pay their dues. They don't feel like they got to still earn anything. They feel like they can just kick a bunch of money out and get a bunch of minions to do whatever they want. And it's all just supposed to go their way. I mean, why don't nobody believe Jason Lee? It's too much entitlement. And now with Richard Lawson, her ex-stepdaddy, and crikey, I'm so sorry. I have to take Meech. You've been calling. I was gonna call you today. I'm live on the blue couch right now. Can I call you right back? Are you home? Okay, well, we need to talk immediately. Okay. Do you want to say hi to everybody? All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna put the camera on. You guys want to say hi to a friend of mine?
Let's do it.
Okay. You gotta answer it, Meech.
Okay, I'm answering.
This is the father of the man who played Tupac, Demetrius Shipp Sr.
What's up, bro?
Tupac's producer. K-Dot's producer.
That's what's up.
Wait a minute. We were just talking about this whole Super Bowl Jay-Z thing and people being up in arms. Considering that you're actually one of Kendrick's mentoring producers and one of his greatest producers, do you got something to tell us about it?
Oh, I love it. It's chess, not checkers. That's what I got to say.
Uh-huh.
It's chess, not checkers. It's hip hop. This brothers on the field who identify with the culture. So why would it be anything else?
That part.
It's predominantly us. So let us enjoy ourselves the way we want to. We can't appeal to everybody, please everybody all the time.
And what do you think about Jay-Z making the choice and upsetting everybody in Louisiana and hip hop apparently?
Yeah, right. Well, that comes with the gig. I guess I understand it more so.
There was nothing wrong with the choice.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the choice.
But the timing.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I don't know, people are real sensitive these days. And the comment section is the whiner section, the venting section. We didn't grow up with venting sections. You chopped it up and moved on. You kept pushing. You feel me?
Yeah. Do you guys have anything you want to ask Meech before I shut this down so we can get back to work?
Look, Meech, we gonna definitely get you on this couch so we can go through all this stuff that we need to talk to you about, bro. We definitely want to see you there. We're gonna see you on
the couch is blue.
Right.
Crips heavy.
This is the real deal. Blue couch.
All right, brother. I'm gonna call you when I finish up.
Let me tell you, 50 Cent has been playing the longest game in hip-hop history with this one. It all started back in 2009 when Rick Ross came at him with that Officer Ricky stuff. People thought it was just another rap beef, but 50 was thinking way bigger. While Ross was out there thinking he was winning their little back and forth, 50 was quietly working behind the scenes. He wasn't just taking the hits. He was collecting receipts and building connections, especially every time Ross bragged about his Wingstop money or fancy cars. 50 stopped responding to the small jabs. Instead, he was gathering ammo. He waited patiently, watching Ross flex on social media about his new Checkers franchises and business moves. Ross thought he was untouchable, and that's when 50 knew it was time to strike. If you were paying attention to 50's Instagram the week before, you could see it coming. He started dropping cryptic messages, talking about how some people aren't who they pretend to be. Then, he posted that tick, tick, tick message, saying time was running out for some folks. Nobody knew what he meant, but everyone was watching. Then, out of nowhere, on a regular Tuesday when everyone was just going about their day, 50 dropped the first tape on Instagram. No warning, no build-up, just straight destruction. He didn't even put a caption, just let the footage do the talking. Within minutes, the whole industry exploded.
Okay? So, let's just start to get our groove on a little bit. Then an hour, we put the kids away, it's all good. Hey, DJ, let's hit it. Let's do it.
He's saying, put the kids away. Get ready to put the kids away. Because when y'all get older, this is going to be something y'all going to want to come to.
Okay, now.
Child, you see how Diddy is talking about putting the kids away and the real party begins after that? Word on the street is that most of the time, Beyonce and Jay-Z were left behind for the real party, if you know what I mean.
Beyonce, I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was
the baby.
This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Me and maybe about 15 others.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in.
Right.
Guess what? Queen Bee was allegedly also in those tapes that were recovered in Diddy's mansions. But hold on, there's more to this Beyonce story. So Jay-Z was allegedly spotted meeting up with a criminal attorney and a divorce attorney. Now, the criminal attorney may be because he has possibly been implicated in the crimes that Diddy is being charged with. And the divorce attorney, well, honey, it looks like y'all were right once again. Jay-Z and Beyonce are allegedly heading for a divorce, baby.
A lot of people were saying, sorry, that's my garage, if y'all can hear it. A lot of people, you say that their marriage is it's a fake marriage. And I feel like maybe with everything coming out, they're like, well, I guess we ain't got to fake it no more. I don't know.
Reactions came in fast. Industry execs were holding emergency meetings, PR teams were scrambling to control the damage, and anyone who'd ever worked with Ross or Diddy started disappearing from the scene. This wasn't like the usual diss tracks or exposed DMs. This was something else. The level of planning behind it was wild. 50 Cent had been watching and waiting for years just to catch Ross at his peak and pull him down even harder. The craziest part, Ross didn't even know what hit him at first. Word is, he was in the middle of a business meeting when his phone started blowing up. His team was trying to reach him, people were sending him the video, and he just thought it was another one of 50's jokes. But when he finally saw what 50 leaked, that's when it all changed. And if you thought that first tape was bad, rumors are that 50's got a lot more where that came from. He's been holding onto this stuff for years, waiting for the perfect moment. The way he planned this whole thing is like he wrote a revenge movie and made Ross the main character without him even knowing it. But here's the thing, Everyone's asking, what else does 50 have in his vault? If he waited 14 years to drop this bomb, who knows what other footage he's been sitting on, just waiting for the right time to release it.
I heard the term that there's no worse vengeance than a woman jaded.
Yes, I have. Yep.
Jaguar Wright then wrote songs for Al Green, man. She then wrote songs for some of the biggest stars that exist. But since she wasn't partaking in some of the nonsense, a lot of hit records got taken from her and given to other people. She didn't get song credits or her publishing and royalties for that. So she out for a vengeance, bro. Like, and she not no lady you can just run over, bro. Like, she has sent it up with you. Like, I just seen her outside of the event. They wouldn't let her in. She's sending it up with men, like, fearless. So I'm not shocked. You feel me? Like, I know I can't verify everything she be saying, but bro, she done wrote songs. She got song credits for writing for Al Green.
Take me through them not wanting to let her in the club.
She showed up to a place. Some of the people in there was loyal to some of the people she was speaking out about. They wouldn't let her in. And she wasn't going for that. She started setting it up. She started bugging up on the guys. They had to call the police on old girl. Oh, bro. Jaguar Wright get wild, bro. And if something happened to her, I just want to tell Jaguar Wright, be careful. She just went on Piers Morgan. Beyonce and Jay-Z sent Piers Morgan a cease and desist. Made Piers Morgan publicly apologize. Today. It's about to get dangerous for a lot of people. So if you out here doing what you're doing, because y'all not me. So you better be on your P's and Q's. It's about to get ugly. So this is when people start to turn up dead right now. So keep that in mind. I'm like the Book of Eli with this shit. Cause I'm the boogeyman for real. Me, do God, turn up God, the boogeyman for real to these people everybody worships. So like, that's why ain't nobody trying to dispute what I'm saying, cause they know like I'm not these people. Like it's gonna be repercussions for all parties involved for sure. I've been saying it for years, bro. I've been saying it for years, man.
Remember all those times Ross swore he never did business with certain people? Well, that's what makes these tapes explosive, because the receipts don't lie. 50 Cent caught Ross red-handed, doing exactly what he's been denying for years. The footage 50 dropped shows Ross in some pretty compromising situations with Diddy, and we're not talking about innocent business meetings. Ross is seen at private parties, getting real close with people he claimed he never even met. But the real bombshell is the audio. In one clip, Ross is straight up bragging about deals he and Diddy made behind closed doors. Deals he's been denying for years. The way he talks about it, so casual, has people thinking this wasn't just a one-time thing. Industry insiders who've seen the footage say it's the kind of stuff that could get someone blackballed from the music business for good. What's really got people nervous is how these tapes tie back to old rumors about Ross's early days in the industry. You know, all those stories he's been shutting down about how he really got his start. These videos tell a completely different story. We see Ross cozying up to folks he swore he never dealt with, discussing business moves he claimed never happened.
So one of the things Jaguar Wright said, she said, for years I've been screaming not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. Wright said on Uncensored. She further alleged that Jay-Z and Beyonce had hundreds of victims. So those are some pretty crazy allegations because, you know, we really don't have any evidence against Jay-Z or Beyonce or anything like that.
So she said they monsters?
Yes. With hundreds of victims.
So let me say this, bro. I'm a monster, bro. Like, they just pervert. I'm a monster, though. So, like, all of that type of stuff, I can't really... Like, I only speak on the things I know I can verify as facts. Like, when it comes to them having hundreds of victims and stuff like that, I can't confirm none of that. Point blank, period. I can only confirm what I speak on. But, like, calling them type of people monsters is kind of disrespectful to me and the guys, bro. Like, because we real monsters, bro. Like, they just horny with money, bro. And then at the same time, bro, I'm the person who be standing in front of people's dressing room. I watch men and women throw they self at these people. I have watched people, I'm like, ladies who I respected. I watched them throw they self at these people. Dudes. I'm like, damn, bro. You like your cakes touched? Oh, fold them. Let me go ahead and evacuate. You feel me? This is what's going on. Like, so like, I'm not finna sit here and say Jay-Z, Beyonce, monsters, but there are a lot of people coming out saying like, yeah, these people like to partake in Zesselmania. Shout out to the real boys who really get it in, the guys who really stand on business. Hold on. All this is lame, really. Them not no monsters.
The reactions from the industry have been wild. One executive, who wanted to stay anonymous because they still have a stake in the game, said watching these tapes felt like witnessing someone's entire career flashed before their eyes. Another source close to Ross's label mentioned that emergency meetings had to be called because no one knew how many more bombs 50 was about to drop. This isn't your typical rap beef where someone exposes old DMs or drops a diss track. These tapes have Ross and Diddy looking really suspect, especially with all the other allegations floating around lately. The timing couldn't be worse for Ross, as he's trying to expand his business empire while Diddy deals with his own drama. The scary part for Ross is how these tapes could jeopardize everything he's built. Think Wingstop franchises and that new Checkers deal, along with all his brand partnerships. Once corporate America sees you tangled in something like this, they get really nervous about being associated with you. The real tension came from knowing that 50 was sitting on more footage. Every time Ross tried to deny something or explain it away, 50 would drop another clip that made Ross look even worse. It was like 50 had cameras following Ross for years, just waiting for the perfect moment to start unleashing these bombs. When Ross finally found out what was actually in those tapes, things started getting heated. It's one thing to hear rumors about what people saw. It's another to know there's video evidence out there showing exactly what you've been trying to hide. And the way Ross reacted? That's when everything went from bad to worse.
Minaj is also out here doing what other celebrities are afraid of doing and calling out Jay-Z for being involved with Diddy. We are going to be needing a fan right now because even I can't stand all this heat. Okay, one thing I know is that Jay-Z has been doing his best to avoid Diddy since the lawsuits started trickling in. I mean, he even canceled his Grammy brunch party because of Diddy, because he did not know how to uninvite Diddy to the party, and because he couldn't just tell it to his face and decided to cancel the party. Well, now people are saying that there's no way Beyonce and her husband could be close friends with someone for 2 decades, be business partners, attend their parties, know their family, have countless business ties, vacation together multiple times, knowing all their kids, and not be complicit or at least mildly aware of their illegal extracurricular activities. Are Beyonce and Jay-Z staying silent about Diddy because everyone knows they're too close and knee-deep with him to pretend they don't know about his other illegal actions? Did they participate in illegal extracurricular activities with Diddy? Well, insiders have been saying that Diddy has no intention of going down alone, and he has allegedly started snitching. And based on reports, the next person we expect to follow suit is Jay-Z. What I know is that even before Diddy's cases were made public, there were interviews behind the scenes for about a year. And
I was just about to say it. Jaguar said that Diddy, in that other video I did, she said, Diddy better start snitching. He better start, because oh, man. It is all coming out. This is hilarious. Hilarious, man, because she been right this whole time.
Things that were made public were not even half of what happened. In Cassie's case particularly, Jay-Z and Beyonce were allegedly mentioned in the original lawsuit. The thing is, Cassie's lawsuit was initially 60 pages, but it was narrowed down to 35 pages. And if we already find the things in the 35 pages horrific, imagine what else was in there that had to be edited out. Clearly, what they edited out was worse than what was left in the lawsuit. And apparently, in the lawsuit, Cassie also mentioned Jay-Z and Beyonce by talking about something that went down at one of Diddy's parties. Reportedly, what happened at the party was that after Beyonce and Jay-Z witnessed Diddy strike Cassie across the face, Cassie fled upstairs and locked herself in one of the bedrooms. Then Diddy's security tracked her down and Cassie took 30 minutes or more to get herself together. Then once Cassie was on her way returning to the party, Beyonce and Jessica Alba were waiting in the foyer of the house to check on her. Cassie said that Beyonce was visibly upset, and as Diddy and Jay were walking towards them, Beyonce blew a gasket and screamed at Diddy, telling him that what he did was highly offensive and unacceptable. Apparently, Diddy got on his knees and apologized to Cassie, Beyonce, and Jessica. Based on reports, Beyonce was super mad at Jay-Z, and she asked him why he was comforting Diddy instead of checking him. And she reportedly even told Jay that she was starting to lose respect for him. Then after that incident, Beyonce, Cassie, Jessica, and about 20 to 25 people left the party after witnessing what happened or hearing about it. Apparently, allegedly, Cassie left with Jessica and her people because she knew that if she left with Beyonce, Diddy would track her down because of the connections he had with Jay-Z. Cassie was also contacted the next day by law enforcement after the cops showed up to the house the same night after neighbors called and reported that there was chaos in the neighborhood. Someone from the party had called the police anonymously and reported what happened because Diddy was allegedly questioned about laying his hands on Cassie, but he denied everything and Cassie refused to cooperate or corroborate what was reported. Now, this particular party may not have been a freak-off party, but I have seen threads saying that most of the freak-off parties took place after the public parties, and Diddy himself suggested this in this video that has been making rounds.
Kids have like an hour left, so get extra comfortable, kids, because after that, y'all gotta go. It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to, okay? So, you know, let's just start to get our groove on a little bit. In an hour, we put the kids away, it's all good. Hey, DJ, let's hit it. Let's do it.
So where the hell the kids going? Just to another section of the house or something? Or whatever the hell they at? You know, like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. He just put the kids with a damn nanny as they go and do they damn whatever they. This is wild and crazy, man. Told you, man, these videos resurfacing.
When the notifications started blowing up everyone's phones at 1 a.m., nobody was prepared for what they saw. Ross wasn't just angry. He was ready to scorch the earth, prompting veteran PR experts to text each other, saying someone needed to step in before he ruined everything. His first response dropped on Instagram like a bomb. A 15-minute rant packed with threats and accusations that had his own team in a panic. He wasn't even trying to deny what was in those tapes anymore. He was outright threatening 50's life. The way he paced back and forth in that video, looking like he hadn't slept in days, had people wondering if he had finally lost it for real. Every hour brought a new explosion. First, he sent voice messages to everyone who shared the video, threatening lawsuits and making wild accusations, even bringing up old dirt that was never supposed to see the light of day. While his team tried to manage the damage, Ross wasn't listening. He went live at 1 a.m., calling out names, exposing industry secrets, and making threats that couldn't be taken back. Things got really messy when Ross started dropping addresses, not just 50's usual spots, but places where his family would be. That's when even his own people began to distance themselves. His PR team scrambled to send out statements to clean up the mess. But Ross would hop right back online, undoing all their hard work within minutes. Even his closest business partners were calling him, begging him to log off before he burned every bridge he ever built.
Last night we went live to give you your Diddy update. So if you've been missing out on any of the Diddy news, there were quite a few revelations last night, including one of the accusers being called out by one of her possible witnesses of basically making up the claims and offering him $3 million. Also, Diddy is trying to get bail a third time. So we talked about that and so much more. But one of the other stories that we talked about last night was that Beyonce and Jay-Z's attorneys reached out to Piers Morgan's show, Piers Morgan Uncensored, and said that the things that Jaguar Wright said in his conversation with her were completely untrue and false, and demanded an apology. And he had to remove Jaguar Wright's claims of calling them
they're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
So our friends over at Deadline write this: Piers Morgan has apologized after platforming totally false claims against Beyonce and Jay-Z on his YouTube channel. Morgan interviewed Jaguar Wright about Sean Diddy Combs' arrest on his Uncensored show last week. During the exchange, the singer called Diddy and Jay-Z, quote, monsters, and alleged that Jay-Z and Beyonce have hundreds of victims. So during an Uncensored episode yesterday, Piers Morgan opened the show by revealing that he had received a legal letter from the couple in which they refuted the allegations. The former CNN anchor apologized and said Wright's interview was edited to remove her claims.
Last week, I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z.
Desperation hit Ross's team hard. They quickly tried to get the tapes taken down with copyright claims, but 50 had already spread them far and wide. Ross began offering millions to anyone who could help him find out who recorded him. By morning, he had violated multiple Instagram policies and faced 3 account restrictions. Instead of cooling off, he created new burner accounts and became even more reckless with his posts. His lawyers were calling nonstop, and his business partners threatened to pull out of deals, but Ross wouldn't back down. Things escalated when he started naming other artists, exposing their secrets, like who hadn't paid for verses and who was lying about streaming numbers. It was like he was setting fire to his own house to take down the whole neighborhood. The industry split into camps. Those eager to see Ross exposed joined 50, while others tried to defend him. But with threats to families and deep secrets laid bare, people were forced to pick sides, and the outcomes were shocking.
That apology, and a lot of people are saying, why exactly is Jay-Z and Beyonce even responding? Jaguar Wright has been making these claims about them for years. Well, one of the things that I mentioned to you guys, and I've been mentioning even before this apology was issued, was the fact that Jay-Z and Beyonce do not want to put a spotlight on Jaguar Wright. We've seen this in other celebrity legal cases where if a celebrity decides to sue or put a spotlight on a person, it makes the person become a household name. It makes other media outlets like Deadline talk about a Jaguar Wright. But not only that, shout out to our friend Freddie from Reality Diamond. He dropped us some tea reminding us that Piers Morgan has a contract with News UK. What is News UK? Well, News UK is owned by Rupert Murdoch. Rupert Murdoch, as you know, is a billionaire. The billionaire that oversees networks like Fox News. He's worth $20.5 billion. So it should be noted that News UK owns 50% of Piers Morgan's YouTube channel, which has over 3.3 million subscribers. Even if you didn't know this element of News UK being owned by Rupert Murdoch, who has a larger conglomerate, just the fact that Piers Morgan has this huge platform should be enough for us to note. Because even in the moment when Piers heard what Jaguar had to say, he was already sort of backpedaling on her claims. But now when you add the element of, well, 50% of this, not only are we talking about Piers Morgan, who's a millionaire, we're talking about a billionaire that's backing this person. But in my research in regards to this, apparently Piers Morgan signed a 3-year contract with News UK. Because originally his show was on a television network. He decided to take it off of television and move it to YouTube. There was an article back in Variety talking about this, that Piers Morgan announced his uncensored show is moving from Talk TV to YouTube, citing, quote, unnecessary straitjacket of TV schedules. In an interview with The Times, Morgan said that he will now focus on growing the uncensored YouTube channel, which has over, at the time, 2.3 million subscribers. He says, it's clear there's a huge global demand for the content we're making, but the commitment to a daily show at a fixed schedule with all the editing and time sensitivities that involves has been an increasingly unnecessary straitjacket. But here's the thing. In following this story and just sort of following the money, when you think about this.
During the feud, the way artists chose sides shocked everyone. Some of Ross's closest allies suddenly distanced themselves, while unexpected supporters emerged. Meek Mill's likes on 50 Cent's post signaled a shift towards survival over loyalty, with artists unfollowing Ross and canceling collaborations. DJ Khaled went silent on Ross when questioned, and French Montana hinted at karma with vague posts. Future made waves by sharing 50's Many Men, and Drake's cryptic message about real day ones not switching up left everyone guessing about his stance. The industry buzzed with the fallout as loyalties shifted dramatically.
Signed a 3-year deal with News UK back in 2021. So if you do the math, his contract should be up for negotiation if he hasn't signed one already. And 3 years later. So he doesn't want to lose Rupert Murdoch's backing. Yes, he already has built a huge YouTube channel, but he doesn't want to lose that support or that relationship. So as for a lot of people have always said, well, if Jaguar Wright is lying, why hasn't any celebrity sued her? First of all, we talked about this before with other attorneys. They do not want the discovery. They don't want any of their other business coming up in court or in the public. They also, or what are they suing for? What exactly are they going to get from suing Jaguar Wright? She doesn't have millions of dollars. It's honestly a waste of time, and the only person that benefits from a Beyonce and Jay-Z suing a Jaguar Wright would be Jaguar, because now all of these other media outlets and platforms are going to be like, who is this woman that Beyonce and Jay-Z are suing? However, when Jaguar Wright was invited to a platform that is owned by another billionaire that has a stake in the show, Beyonce and Jay-Z felt forced to actually refute these claims. And Piers Morgan did not wait to make sure that he refuted the claims and cover himself, because if he's in the middle of negotiating his next contract, he doesn't want something like this to hurt that. Guys, as always, I want to know your reaction as to why Beyonce and Jay-Z finally decided to speak out against Jaguar Wright's claims of them being
They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
Label executives felt the pressure as meetings were canceled and artists were forced to pick sides in the feud between Ross and 50 Cent. Studios in Miami and New York began refusing to book certain artists together due to rising tensions, while festival lineups shifted as artists suddenly claimed scheduling conflicts. Promoters scrambled to separate the camps, even doubling security budgets for events. The feud revealed the power dynamics in hip-hop, with major names making decisions based on business rather than friendship. With 50 hinting at more tape drops, the stakes grew higher, and the industry hasn't been this divided since the East Coast-West Coast rivalry.
Opposing Jay-Z and Tidal for scamming her and trying to silence her with $1 million. Onika was setting the record straight about her part in Jay-Z's sale of his music streaming service, Tidal, claiming both he and Steve Stout are spreading lies. Now, there's been a little bit of back and forth, but now Nicki is saying that Jay-Z is pushing heat her way to try and keep people from talking about him and Diddy. Like, she literally wrote on X, they got to keep the conversation on me so that no one asks about about these charges against their BFF. I mean, it seems the 30-year-old T here is far from stale. Patterns, yet sass, ugly, alien, stout, etc. all talking about Onika. Why are they talking about Onika? In another tweet, Nicki also questioned if Steve and Jay-Z knew about what was going on in Hollywood and whether they participated, as she wrote, Dear Short and Stout DIK, Laffy Taffy Alien, DIK Breath, SAS, we want to know if you were present during Bleep of Teenagers and Children. That's what we want to know. Stop. Aaliyah, Foxy, etc. during R. Kelly video shoots and stuff. Did you know about Kim Porter and Cassie? Y'all seem to always run in a sort of rat pack. So that's what we the people want you and your peeps to speak on. Ugly bald head bowling ball bit. You ninjas don't have this energy for gangsters in person, only for bees on the internet. She also wrote in yet another tweet referencing her husband, worried about the tea of a 15-year-old child who was railroaded, but no comments on the tea and baby oil that's been going on for decades and as recent as months ago. If 15-year-olds need to be held accountable and told they can't ever move past their past, then what about the 30-year-olds sat by and was silent, etc.? Oh, right. Not the baby oil, Nicki. OMG. Hilarious. Damn. Onika is bold. The Barbs better protect her because Nicki is coming a little too close, y'all.
Hey.
A little too close. Anywho, when it comes to Jay-Z and Beyonce, people are insisting that it's been common knowledge throughout the whole entire music industry that Diddy was doing what he was doing, and Jay-Z and Beyonce definitely knew too. So they either chose to sacrifice basic morals for Diddy's money and influence, or they were somewhat involved in the schemes themselves. Followers are saying that at the very least, Beyonce could have distanced herself from Diddy, never been seen with him, or avoided his parties, but she didn't. Well, now we have reports claiming that Beyonce was actually in the tapes. And with everything going on, she's allegedly also gearing up to make her split from Jay-Z public. Who knows? Maybe this divorce may actually be the Pandora box we have all been waiting for when it comes to Jay-Z. Allegedly, this split has a lot to do with Diddy, but I guess we are just gonna have to wait for more details. Meanwhile, I would love to know your thoughts on a few things. Do you think Jay-Z will be caught up in Diddy's case? Do you believe Beyonce and Jay-Z were complicit in Diddy's crimes? And what are your thoughts on Jay-Z and Beyonce heading for a separation? Let me know in the comments section below.
Boy, if the only way Jay-Z won't or will not be mentioned again is if Diddy don't make it. And I feel like they may be trying any and everything possible. Because you think Diddy had connections? Psh, boy, Jay-Z, man. I mean, this dude worked with the NFL. Hey, they're right. That Pandora box. This could be a lot. Because I feel like if Beyonce try to distance herself from Jay-Z, then she might start talking. Or is it, unless she was somewhat involved, then they just gonna be pointing the finger. You were there too. No, you did. I saw you too. Ooh-wee. We were all too busy dancing to the music.
Opposing Jay-Z and Tidal for scamming her and trying to silence her with $1 million. Onika was setting the record straight about her part in Jay-Z's sale of his music streaming service Tidal, claiming both he and Steve Stout are spreading lies. Now there's been a little bit of back and forth, but now Nicki is saying that Jay-Z is pushing heat her way to try and keep people from talking about him and Diddy. Like she literally wrote on X, they got to keep the conversation on me so that no one asks about these charges against their BFF. I mean, it seems the 30-year-old T here is far from stale. Patterns, yet sass, ugly, alien, stout, etc. all talking about Onika. Why are they talking about Onika? In another tweet, Nicki also questioned if Steve and Jay-Z knew about what was going on in Hollywood and whether they participated, as she wrote, Dear Short and Stout DIK, Laffy Taffy Alien, DIK Breath, SAS, we want to know if you were present during Bleep of Teenagers and Children. That's what we want to know. Stop. Aaliyah, Foxy, etc. during R. Kelly video shoots and stuff. Did you know about Kim Porter and Cassie? Y'all seem seem to always run in a sort of rat pack. So that's what we the people want you and your peeps to speak on. Ugly bald head bowling ball bit. You ninjas don't have this energy for gangsters in person, only for bees on the internet. She also wrote in yet another tweet referencing her husband, worried about the tea of a 15-year-old child who was railroaded, but no comments on the tea and baby oil that's been going on for decades. And as recent as months ago, if 15-year-olds need to be held accountable and told they can't ever move past their past, then what about the 30-year-olds sat by and was silent, etc.? Oh, right. Not the baby oil, Nikki. OMG. Hilarious. Damn. Onika is bold. The Barbs better protect her because Nikki is coming a little too close, y'all.
Hey.
A little too close. Anywho, when it comes to Jay-Z and Beyonce, people are insisting that it's
What started as another chapter in the 50 Cent saga has turned into a major shift in the industry. Casual phone use at parties and free conversations in studios are a thing of the past. Whispers suggest 50 has more footage ready to drop, leaving everyone on edge. If he could hold onto those tapes for 14 years, who knows what else he's got. This situation has made it clear. In the digital age, your past can resurface when you least expect it. The game has changed, and now the question is, who will be next?